live on YouTube.
We,
Um,
does it say where on YouTube we are?
it should be on our account.
Okay, let me go to YouTube and see if I can find it.
Yeah.
I found something also. I think on Bless on our. I think we can. There's a way to upload the RSS feed
Okay.
on Blessed Boys.
Oh, like on the YouTube channel?
Yeah. Okay, I cannot find this.
Let's see. Let me hang on. Let me close up a few windows here so I don't crash. About those Grizzlies.
How bad are we getting beat right now?
I think it just went fine. I think he lost about 20.
Oh, that's better. That's a huge improvement.
It's not 50.
We cut the deficit in more than half.
Well, like I was gonna ask you. I was like, man, do the Grizzlies owe the Thunder money or something? Like, what's going on here?
They have destroyed us pretty much. Uh, you know, pretty easily every time.
I'm looking to see if what this does here. I just clicked the YouTube.
I can't find our channel. You would think this would
Yeah, I
be
looked for it
easy.
too. Yeah, I got a lot of a lot of rap videos.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just
Mm. What is the
yeah,
YouTube
I'm trying to.
username bless underscore or are there no underscores?
Um, Let me double check here. I thought it was just no underscores, but it could be wrong. Let's see. Switch account. Oh, try Paul and Brandon. Paul ampersand Brandon. Yeah, we're there. I'm looking at it right now. I don't think anybody's listening to it. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Where is it? I can't find it.
I just pulled it up on like I just went it to on my phone to the because I have the account on my phone.
Can you send me
Yeah,
like? Can you?
it's at bless underscore dem underscore boys is the I guess that's the username. Uh, thank goodness nobody's watching this. People be watching this like look at these idiots.
Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, live. Welcome to the live show. I found it. Let's see if I cause like a huge echo chamber. Oh yeah, it
No.
works.
Hey, there we go. We're here. You want to watch a little what is it? Lakers Timberwolves coming up?
Yeah, what's going on here? What games do we
So
have?
Indiana just beat Milwaukee. Now Indiana's up 2-0 in that series, and
That's
then I
brutal.
mentioned to you, Thunder beat the Grizzlies. Hang on, I can find the final score for you. Now I don't know how long this will last, because again I did like a free trial on Riverside. I didn't do. Um,
Is there any hockey on?
there is. I had the four of you on YouTube TV a minute ago. Uh,
I watched.
as you know, I'm not well versed in hockey, but
I do. I do keep up with the Stars. They tied the series up last night.
okay. So final from Oklahoma City was 118-99 Thunder. So yeah, so that's
19
19,
points. We got it
right?
under. We got it under 20. That's not too bad.
You had to beat the spread. The spread
Yeah.
must have been.
I don't know about that. It must. I'm sure it was double digits. Let's see.
Let me see if it says. Nah, it was 14 and a half. OKC
Ooh.
was minus 14 and a half.
Oh, we did not cover.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, at
Is there a
least
way?
this.
I guess I
Well,
can.
I guess we. I don't know how the Mavs fans feel about the fact that we beat them out for the last playoff spot. I think they were just ready to be put out of their misery. I assume.
Well, I mean, apparently our general manager didn't realize how much Luka Doncic meant to the fan base.
Well, did you see? I don't know if did you see the Tim McMahon piece last? I think it came out.
Didn't he like get in? Didn't he get on TV and like get Nico's face or something? Or he got in
Uh,
somebody's face and like
I
got.
just saw he had a whole article about basically the breakdown between Nico Harrison basically wanting to consolidate power
Mm,
and didn't like the way certain things were handled, and then also there was like a story about how the Maverick or they basically pushed out all the training staff that had been around for forever and had worked with Dirk, and then like now their training staff sucks and is infighting, and the training staff that they had went with Jalen Brunson to the Knicks because they knew each other from before, and now the Knicks have like suffered a lot less injuries this year, so it's like it's a terrible, terrible look all around.
yeah,
So
that's tough, man. That's that's
that's not going to be good for
very very
business.
tough. That's not good. Be good for anybody. Um,
So what time does
yeah,
what time does the draft start on Thursday? Because I heard different times and I wasn't
I
sure.
believe so. I think it starts quote unquote at 7, but you know how it is.
Yeah,
That
it
means
start.
broadcast starts, and then
It'll take
when
a
will the
little bit
first pick be made? Like
because they
7.
always take 10 minutes to, regardless of whether or not they know
Yeah,
the who they're taking.
yeah. I
Right?
mean, yeah. I mean, Rich Eisen pretty much admitted that on his show. Like they pretty much beg
Whoever's first to
whoever's on the
just.
clock just to be like, look, we know it's gonna be like the Bears last year. The Bears. I mean, everybody and their mama knew it was Caleb Williams, but
Uh huh.
they had to take 9 minutes or whatever. Um, and that's what I'm gonna imagine Tennessee's gonna do because it came out today that they're staying put and they're making the pick, and it's pretty much gonna be Cam Ward.
There
Apparently,
have been
Cleveland's over for business at 2.
there have been rumors about the Cowboys trading up, which I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that happening. I did see somebody saying that the Cowboys were trading Dak to move up, so so there was that.
Well, yeah, yeah, we talked about that. I saw, uh, what's the guy's name? Fowler? No, was it not Jeremy Fowler? Is it James Fowler?
I thought it was
Works
Jeremy
for NFL
Fowler.
Network. But I think there's two. There's Jeremy Fowler works for ESPN, but I think James Fowler works for the NFL Network. But anyway, somebody from NFL Network reported that
There's
a
Dante
team.
Fowler.
There is Dante Fowler. Um, the team. There's a team in the top 10 that is head over heels for Travis Hunter and has been from the start of the process. And someone took that tweet, retweeted it, and said Saints. And it was like, well, I mean, every team in the top 10 should be head over heels
I
for
know.
Travis Hunter.
I can't believe
Like,
that. I can't believe
why?
teams like the good player, the
Right.
guy who
The
won the
best player, the best
Heisman.
athlete,
The
yeah, the
guy who
best
won the
athlete in the
Heisman.
draft. Go figure. Yeah.
What a shocker!
Now
You know,
there's
he,
like legitimate. There's legitimate like juice to Mason Graham falling to 9, which I hope if Mason Graham falls to 9, that's an easy Saints pick, but nothing's ever easy with the Saints. So
Shamar Stewart, baby.
somebody, some one of the Saints, a Saints fan account was like, okay, what would be like the worst case scenario for Thursday night? And someone retweeted and said, draft Shamar Stewart at 9, trade back into the first for Tyler Shuck.
I think
It's like, yeah, that's
trading up for Shamar Stewart would actually be the worst case. That would be my
true.
that I think
True.
that's
Yeah,
actually the
I mean that's what happened in 2018, right? So if you don't remember, so 2018 they're coming off the Minneapolis Miracle, right? And they get to the draft. I think they had picked 27, and they trade up from 27 to 14 with I want to say the Packers.
was it 14?
And
I didn't realize it was that. I thought it was like
yeah,
19.
it was a big jump. And then, well, I think the Packers took that pick 27, and then they traded up to 19 or something with Seattle
Okay.
later to get Jair Alexander. But Saints trade up, and everybody's like, "Oh, they must be trading up for Lamar." Like that was, and they traded, I think, a fifth that year, and then the following year's first, and they drafted legend Marcus Davenport from Texas San Antonio, and that was
That's my favorite. Bring up the name for you.
well, because like, and I think I've told you this. I remember that was one of the first years I really started following the draft, like this whole cycle, and like and I remember I heard about Marcus Davenport for the first time, like maybe a month before the draft,
Uh huh.
and they kind of popped his numbers up, like his height, weight, all that stuff, and I'm like, that sounds like a guy the Saints might want. And sure enough, they did. I didn't think they'd trade up. like, who was gonna draft him in the
Yeah,
first 26 picks that
that's the
they
real
got some bad
question.
intel, man.
Yeah,
They got some bad intel. That's all I can
man,
say.
the Packers were turning the knife. Hey, whoever's behind us at
I
15
mean,
here,
yeah,
they're
seriously.
really they're talking. I heard him the other day at the bar. I heard Davenport's
Because
name.
in 2017, that's the year the Saints missed out on Mahomes because the Bills traded all or Chiefs traded all the way up with the Bills. So then in 18, it's like, all right, we're gonna right this wrong. We're gonna get Lamar. Nope. And then I mean, 19, they didn't even try to get a quarterback. I don't think. Well, they didn't have a first round pick because they traded for. And then 20, yeah, 20. I don't know what they. I don't remember what they did in 20. 20 was pretty like that. Like I think I sent you that article that said like the Saints had one of the best cumulative drafts. Been one of the best cumulative drafting teams in like the last 10 years or something like that. And I was like, yeah, that 2017 draft's doing a lot of heavy lifting for them because if you look at like the rest of the draft, if you take 2017 out, it's not good, man. It's not at all.
Yeah, so
I know
the yeah
2020, I want to say, was the year they drafted Ruiz in the first round, Cesar Ruiz, and they just extended him last year, and he's not good. Like, I mean, he's serviceable, but he's not like,
Yeah, the Athletic Football Show was actually talking about this as part of the conversation, and they brought up that list, but someone else did, because the Packers were really low on that list. But if you look at
mhm,
it from a different metric, from different metrics, then the Packers were actually one of the better drafting teams, just because they tend to whiff on first round picks, but
yeah,
their later round picks they find value. And then the one thing that was nice was they were talking about who do you trust to make good draft picks, and like the overall the consensus was the Ravens were the best, but then like the second team
right.
were generally the Cowboys, just because they'll miss every now and then, but everybody has misses, but they tend to just like, especially like first round picks, they tend to hit pretty well under McClay.
I'm I'm gonna try sending out this link on Twitter and see if anybody
Hops
wants
on.
to hop on. We want to stay. Want to like stay till like 9:30. See if anybody
Yeah, might as well.
might
We've
as
got
well.
the
Yeah. So
I was gonna say
what's up?
the Senators have tied it up 2-2 with the leaves, the Maple Leaves.
That's cool. Did you say the Senators?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
the Ottawa
Ottawa
Senators.
Senators. Yeah, what there
I
was
was like, I thought for some reason, I thought you were using, I thought like you were using an old name that Dallas used to go by, for some
no
like you know what I mean?
no,
Like
but the Rangers were originally the Senators. The
that's yeah,
Wash
that's what got me confused, bro.
the Washington
Yeah.
Senators. You know what my favorite like fun fact is was so the last game that the Senators played in their franchise before they were slated to move to Arlington after the season. They never finished the game because the crowd like stormed the field with like two outs, and so they had to just declare the game over. And so like that
Yeah.
game never completed.
Uh, that sucks.
I told somebody at ESPN that used to write for baseball. I told them that the Rangers were cursed because of that. I called it the curse that like the curse of the Senators or something like that.
It's worse than the Curse of the Bambino.
I wonder if that article's still up. It was like he like ranked all the teams like in most to least cursed, and the Rangers were ranked as most cursed. So
Was this like post 2004? So I guess the Red Sox were
oh yeah, it was like long after
relieved of
that.
their.
It was probably around 2019, I think. Guess what is that guy's name? I need to think of that because he's not with ESPN anymore.
See if. Let me see if.
Sam Miller.
Now what I got to figure out here is if somebody joins this stream, how do I see that they joined the stream? Let's see, people. No, that's you and me, I think.
Is your favorite MLB team cursed? Oh yeah. Let's see if it still has the Rangers.
I was like, is it like a test, like a quiz, like
Yes, the curse of the Senators.
there you go. I mean, we could talk about the
I'm gonna send
curse
you
of
this.
Carr, as
I
it
need to
were.
send you this link. My name is in this article.
Oh, sweet.
Let's see. I don't know if I can. I'll have to. I'll send it to you over the phone somehow.
Okay. We'll we'll have to get our rods and cones together.
Situated.
Yeah. Okay. Switch accounts. Go back to my account. Plus underscore dim underscore. So I'm gonna try to see if I can see the. Is your favorite MLB team cursed? Probably. Well, I mean, the Astros probably are because of the whole. Uh, what do you call it? The whole cheating thing. Were you able to find our YouTube channel
Yeah,
like
I
from your
searched.
channel?
Yes, yeah, because I went to. I searched for. I think I searched for Paul and Brandon, like you said. No, well, I used the. No, I used the link that you sent me.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah, that's
Let me
right.
try. I searched Brandon and Paul, and it didn't come up. So let me try. I must have got confused. Yeah, I get a lot of where them boys. It's pretty interesting. Maybe that could be a show. We just go through like YouTube channels that get confused for our or we yeah.
I like the.
When you
What was the? It was there was one that was called every now and then some people will play like who he play for. It's like try to remember who.
yeah yeah yeah. Barkley does that every. They do it on TNT every. Well, it'll be ESPN next year, I guess. But yeah. So do you want to hear kind of an answer to your question about like why the Saints didn't make Carr take a physical?
Yes, I do want to hear this.
So I'm not saying this is a good answer, but best I can. So I listened to Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk.
Uh
Um,
huh.
this was last week, I guess. He was talking about it, and basically, so the key thing here you have to understand is Carr had an injury. What do you call it? Like
Injury history.
a
Prevent.
provision in his contract that like if he couldn't pass a physical by a certain day of the league year, he would get $30 million
Uh huh.
guaranteed. So when he got hurt against the Giants last season, Saints people got worried because, oh, well, if this injury lingers and he can't pass his physical, we got to pay him $30 million, you know, on
Uh
top
huh.
of his 10 he already is going to get. Um, so the shoulder injury, to go back a bit, from what I've heard, this is a lingering injury from the Green Bay game, not last season, but 2 seasons ago. So if you remember,
You
Saints
got a
were
real
2 and
crack
0.
medical staff going on.
Don't ask Michael Thomas about the Saints medical staff.
Are y'all handling the?
But
Did y'all handle the Pope Francis situation?
yeah, probably. Um, so week 3 of the 2023 season, Saints are 2 and 0. They go to Green Bay. They're up like 18, and Carr gets hurt. And that injury, it was like an AC joint. Apparently, that's the injury that is now lingering, quote unquote. So basically, what the
He's
Saints did
getting
is they
second opinions, right?
sure, yeah. The second opinion is, can I get traded? If like, if because that's the underlying bit of this whole thing is like he does not want to be in New Orleans, according to what the fellows at Saints Block Party podcast were saying. Which I mean, everything they've said this offseason about this has come true. So
Why
I
don't you
have
just
no
sign
reason
his
not to
best
believe.
friend Devonte Adams? That should solve all your problems.
Well, no, he already went to where'd Devontae go?
Oh, that's right. He went back to the West Coast,
The
right?
Rams. The
Rams. That's
Rams, right?
right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he took Cup's place, kind
Mm.
technically, but anyway, so according to the fellows at Saints Block Party podcast, the second Dennis Allen got fired last season, Carr wanted out. Like he just because that's the only reason he was in New Orleans anyway was because of Allen. Then this
You
offseason,
fired his boy. I mean the. I know you hate Dennis Allen, so you must. The fact that those two are like linked together, you must really just love that, right?
right? So, oh, I was in the chat.
Hey, Donnie's in here. What's up, Donnie?
Oh, Donnie, the Broncos fan. Sweet.
Hey,
I sent him the link. See if he was.
Donnie.
That's
Don,
right, Donnie. Look, Donnie's a Broncos fan. He saw Garrett Carr enough with the Raiders. He knows what it's all about.
Donnie,
Donnie,
who's the pick for the Broncos in round one?
well, I was gonna tell Donnie maybe we could talk business here and get us a trade going. He can trade up. They can trade up to 9. They can take. I don't know. I think Genty would probably be the guy that they'd be trading up for. So I
Oh,
don't know. We'll see if
I
he.
can
We'll
see the
see if.
comments in the Riverside app too.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. I just noticed it. Um, so yeah, Donnie, let me know who you got. I think everything I've heard from the Broncos is they want a running back or they want a playmaker basically. They want a. I think.
Was it Colston Loveland that everyone was mocking to the
Yeah,
Broncos
that's it.
for? That was
Yeah.
the
Well,
sexy pick for a while.
Loveland's probably going to end up in the AFC West. It's either going to be Denver or it's going to be the Chargers.
Travion
Donnie
Henderson.
said, "Oh, your
Don't
boy,
you be
your boy."
no 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 no
No.
no.
All right, Donnie. So this is what's got to happen, Donnie. Y'all got to trade up to 9. Y'all got to trade up to 9. Give us second round. Give us maybe your first next year. We'll give you Taysom Hill in
The Bron-
return.
the Broncos no also
Excuse me.
the Broncos took the guy that I wanted several years ago, Paxton Lynch, back in 2016. So
Oh,
they,
your boy from Memphis, yeah.
yeah, they ended
Donnie,
up
how'd
doing
the
me
Paxton Lynch experience go?
they did me a favor unknowingly.
Was that the same year you said Josh Allen wasn't going to be very good?
No, I think that was a couple of seasons later.
Okay.
Was it?
I remember we had just started chatting about football, and you were like, "Yeah, I don't think this Josh Allen guy is going to be that good." And it's like,
But to be fair, most people thought that. Most people looked at
true.
the
That's fair. That is fair.
and
That
for
is fair. Yeah.
the first couple of seasons, he was not very good. And then somebody
That's true.
I don't know if they took him to the crossroads or if they like,
No, it was Dayball. Wasn't it Dayball that like turned him around?
he
And
did a
that's how
deal.
Dayball got hired
He did a
at
deal with the devil,
New York
the devil, deal with the devil.
with the day with the Dayball. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Not recently. Um, let's see what we got. I'm checking this Lakers score here. Donnie, how did Nuggets? The Nuggets are what did they win? Did they win
1-1.
last night? No, they lost. Clippers beat them last night. That's
Yeah.
right. They had to come back. They should really be down 2-0 probably because I think that game one,
Apparently,
they were getting beat up pretty good.
I think the L.A. Clippers discovered the good drugs for Kawhi's knee. I think that's what happened because he appears
Oh
to
yeah.
be back to championship run with Toronto. Kawhi.
Uh oh, well, that's scary. If that's the case. See, we got Lakers. Yeah, tied 1-1. We got Lakers 14, Timberwolves 8. See what happens here.
I don't know how to feel.
Barkley on the inside.
I see. I like
I was say
Doncic.
Barkley on. Yeah, Barkley on Inside the NBA said if the Lakers lose in round one, it's a failure for a season.
I would probably agree
I
with
tend
that.
to agree.
Yeah,
Tend to agree. I mean, especially if you lose to the Timberwolves, who I mean, the Timberwolves were in the Western. Well, you and I watched the Western Conference Finals together last year at
that's right. Against the Mavs and the so Luka Doncic
Mavs and the
is
T Wolves. Yeah,
it's a rematch of
yeah,
the Western Conference Finals here. Luka versus
yeah. We
the
watched.
game
Was it
three.
Game Six,
Oh, was it
or
that?
was it earlier than?
I thought it was
I thought it
earlier
was
than that.
later. I thought it was like I know it wasn't the closeout game, but it was like
It was the one to put
late
him
in the
up.
series.
Maybe it was game five.
It was one where who went off that game? Was it Dinwiddie? One of the, or PJ Washington, I think, went off in the game we watched.
Yeah, it was just like hitting threes everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely,
I
absolutely.
don't I don't know how to I feel conflicted because I like Luca and so like I kind of want him to succeed just because like I feel bad because you can tell he wanted to stay in Dallas his whole career.
Yeah,
And so like
absolutely. Yeah,
I'd kind of like to see him succeed, but that also means cheering for the Lakers and I can't make myself can't make myself really
fair
do
enough. Yeah,
that. Um
yeah. It's like that's kind of like how I am with Bregman going to the Red Sox.
mm.
I mean, it would have been worse if he went to the Yankees, but like, yeah, it's similar energies.
I feel like
Uh,
I cheered for the Yankees in the World Series last year because they actually felt like the lesser of two evils in that one.
right.
But that was a lose-lose situation there.
It was. It definitely was. Oh, by the way, remember how I think I texted you last week and I said I got Saints position of first draft pick defensive line at like plus 900.
Uh-huh.
It's up to like plus 180 today on
Oh,
FanDuel.
really?
Yeah.
The Shamar Stewart.
So I'm
The Shamar
feeling, yeah, yeah,
feeling pretty good about that.
yeah, yeah.
Your
Adam on Saints Block Party podcast. Adam he keeps invoking the name James Pierce.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Donnie, I think the Saints are off. Well, I think in the public perception, Saints are off Shador. I don't know if that's a smoke signal. I don't know what it is. I'm just ready for this damn draft to be over with. This cycle has been ridiculous. I do hope they do draft the quarterback just so we can be done with the Carr thing. Which I think going back to that real quick, Brandon. I think we're done with the Carr thing. I just don't see him. Everything I hear is he's not playing another snap in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
He, I mean, they may put him on IR this year and then just cut him next year. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
So yeah,
I'm almost.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say I'm almost tempted to just say roll with Rattler, depending on what Kellen Moore, if Kellen Moore sees anything in him. But the fact that they've done all this work on all these different quarterbacks makes me think the otherwise. I mean, unless they're just going to draft later than a lot of people think. Like if they draft somebody like Kyle McCord, let's say in the fourth round, and they're just going to have an open competition between him and Rattler going into the season. I definitely want at 9. I would definitely love for them to get a playmaker. If like Genty fell, which now I think Genty's odds going top 5 are now like plus 200 or something like that.
There's been a lot. There's
200,
been a lot
100.
of Genty
A
to
lot
the
of smoke.
Jags
A lot of smoke.
noise.
Yeah, a lot of
So the
smoke.
so just so I I told you that I bet the Jets to take a cornerback first at plus 1,300.
Yeah.
That's up to seven plus 750 now. So
Well, Tyler Warren's the big name for them right now that
I
I'm
did
hearing.
hedge on him because that was plus 280. So I bet a few bucks on the cornerback, and then to hedge a little bit, I put enough to cover my bet on
Yeah.
tight end there. So as long as they don't take an
Yeah.
offensive lineman,
I
if they take one of those two positions, I'm fine.
yeah, so I'm seeing so right now on Rebet, exact playing position of first drafted player for the Saints, defensive line edge is plus 115. I got it at plus 900 like a week and a half ago.
So you know who do you know who they have the NFL draft for the ninth overall pick right now is the favorite there is Michael is it
Mikael Williams, right?
Mikael Williams for
Yeah.
what Georgia?
Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him or Jalen Walker, but I don't think Jalen Walker's getting to 9. I think Carolina's going to snatch him up if he gets to 8. Carolina's apparently open for business. When all this Shador to the Saints smoke started, Carolina, their general manager came out and was like, "Yeah, we're open for business. Anybody wants to trade up in front of the Saints?"
The Cowboys first position drafted here is
Mhm.
like receiver is like minus 250.
Well, I saw a mock. I'm trying to remember whose mock it was. I don't remember whose mock, but I saw one where it was like I want to say it was either Graham or Genty fell to 9 to the Saints, and your guy Matthew Golden went to Dallas. I was like, oh, that would work for both of us,
Yeah, there we go.
honestly.
I would like I told you today like the what I heard on the Athletic Football Show podcast like really kind of like I was like because I was kind of iffy on Golden because I think the production was a little low, but
Right.
people have talked about like it was more of they figured out how to use him more toward the end of the season, and so it kind of pushed up his production later in the year, and then they talked about like just kind of his makeup and what Brugler had got from talking to him, and it like was another like
Yeah.
just really positive sign. So I feel kind of a lot better about him now.
Yeah. So I have a question. So what happens if you pick, let's say you have Cleveland's first position, and and you say receiver or cornerback? How does that work with Travis Hunter? Like if you draft Travis Hunter, does
That's a good
you know what I mean?
question.
So like for the Cowboys, let's say the Cowboys traded up and drafted Travis Hunter. Does that count? Because he's technically a receiver. Like if you
I
place
get
money on,
I guess technically it should.
I don't know how Vegas would. I'm guessing Cleveland. Let me check. Oh, so on Rebet, if I look up Cleveland,
I just
oh,
bet
see, they don't even have the Cleveland odds
I bet
for.
over two and
That's
a
probably
half
how they get around it.
I bet two over 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round.
I bet Jackson Dart second quarterback taken, and I want to say
Ooh,
I got it at like plus. I got it at plus money, but I can't remember the number. Let me see here. Plus 199
yeah,
for Jackson Dart.
Ashton Genty under six, like before the basically before the seventh pick is now minus
Hmm.
450 or
Yeah, he's not getting past the Raiders. I
yeah, I
don't
don't
think.
think so. Well, what Jackson because they're at 6 and then Jacksonville's at 5, and so those teams both seem like they're pretty strong. There, there was actually like a rumor about the if the Jags end up taking Genty at 5, they may be willing to shop Etienne since they also have Bigsby now,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Cowboys were kind of mentioned as hey, like maybe we could trade for trade for
So
Etienne.
I also got Steelers as the team to draft Shador at plus 275. It's now plus 199. So,
Wait, what was it?
so for the Steelers to be the team to draft Shador, I got it at plus 275.
Uh huh.
I want to say I did that yesterday or day before, and it's right now it's plus 199. So that's
What is the Aaron Rodgers situation?
oh I
Is
don't.
he is he just drumming up attention now?
I'm wondering if the Steelers draft Shador if the Rodgers thing just goes cold. Like he just is like, forget it. I'll go play for
Cleveland,
Minnesota or
Cleveland.
Tennessee or
Yeah,
Cleveland or
I
whatever.
wanted to go to Minnesota so bad just to fulfill the fulfill the
Right.
arc.
The prophecy.
Yes. Send a few inappropriate pictures on your way out, Aaron.
The well, his former main squeeze, Shailene Woodley, is going to be on season 2 of Paradise.
I saw her name popped up. You know how every now and then you'll open Twitter and it'll be on the like for you tab, but
Yeah,
it'll change really quickly, so you can't always read
yeah,
the yeah. So that happened. So I saw her name pop up, but then it refreshed and I couldn't see like anything to do with the tweet, and so I was like, no,
yeah.
I'm not going chasing after I'm not going out chasing after Shailene Woodley, former Aaron Rodgers
Shailene Woodley.
girlfriend.
I'm trying to remember what movie I saw her in first.
Divergent.
I de- yeah, well, my wife. So my wife is a big fan of the Hunger Games movies,
Mm-hmm.
and one weekend she decided to try the Divergent movies, so we watched those, and I definitely remembered it from that. I think actually, you know what? It was not. It wasn't a
Didn't the
movie. It was
last movie
from.
didn't the last movie for that wasn't it like a made for TV thing? Didn't it wasn't it like so
Oh,
bad
I
that,
don't know.
I think
Like it
that
went straight to streaming, probably.
or yeah, I think this was before streaming was still big, but it was basically it like was a TV network special instead of an actual in theaters movie just because so I read all the Hunger Games books and thought they were decent. Like I didn't like love them, but they were fine. And then the movies were good. They also had Jennifer Lawrence in them, which big plus. And so
So
I had
yeah,
friends that started talking about Divergent, and so I was like, oh, if it's kind of like Hunger Games, I'll at least check it out. I got maybe like a third of the way through it, and I was like, I can't do this.
yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So I'm pretty sure the first thing I saw her in was an HBO series called Big Little Lies.
Wasn't
With
she
her, it
also
was
on
like
an was she on an ABC Family show?
maybe she's also in. If you've seen the movie, I may have talked about the movie on the show Ferrari that Michael Mann made about Ferrari, like the real life.
Uh huh. Not Ford versus
Uh,
Ferrari.
no, 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 not Ford versus. This is just Ferrari. This starred Adam Driver as Ferrari, which is weird, but they made it work. And Shailene Woodley plays his mistress.
Mm-hmm.
So like, he's married to I want to say Salma Hayek or Penelope Cruz, one of them, and then she plays like his mistress.
That's a real downgrade in the. I mean, no, no offense to Shailene Woodley,
Right. It was
but
yeah,
Penelope Cruz
Penelope
and Selma
Penelope
Hayek.
Cruz. Penelope Cruz played Laura Ferrari, and then Shailene Woodley played Lena Lardy, which I think Ferrari had a child with her, but like tried to keep her,
Hidden.
secret, hidden. But the wife knew about her.
She she was in the OC. I did
Yeah.
not know that she was on the OC.
She was also in Did you ever see the movie Snowden, the Oliver Stone movie
No,
about
but
Edward Snowden, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
I remember them. I mean, I remember seeing the commercials for it.
It's okay. It's definitely not Oliver Stone's best work. He was kind of
He got to a point where he was kind of
yeah, he was a little Looney Tunes there towards. Well, I say that though, like I remember I was kind of excited when he made the World Trade Center movie because I was like,
Hmm.
oh man, he's gonna go hard into the paint upon this like conspiracy stuff, and it wasn't that at all. It was about the most straightforward Oliver Stone movie you've ever seen. It starred Nicolas Cage and
Let me see if I can find let me see if I can find Pete Carroll's review of this movie.
is Pete Carroll a
He's a big, I think he's a big
Steel
9/11
Beamers?
truther.
Is he a
Yeah, I
yeah,
think so. I
Steel
think so.
Beamer? You know who else is Marion Cotillard, who
Oh,
I think we
really?
talked. Oh yeah, she's got big steel beam energy, as I understand it.
Okay, she was so Shailene Woodley was in The Secret Life of the American Teenager on which was
Okay,
like it was an ABC
that definitely sounds like an
that was an it was an ABC family show, which I think that's where she like got kind of big before she got the Divergent role. Um, so I think that's what I
yeah.
remember her from.
I
It was
yeah.
very over dramatic because I think my sister watched a little of it. It was really it was pretty bad.
That that sounds yeah. It sounds interesting. I guess.
Have you seen? Let me ask you this: are you planning to go see Sinners?
Man, I really want to go see it. So my wife, we saw an advertisement for it, and she goes, "Well, I guess we're not going to see that because she knows how I am not a big
Scary
horror
movie
movie
fan.
fan." But man, I keep seeing all these reviews for it. Donnie, if you're still in the chat, let us know if you've seen Sinners yet.
I think
Because
my
it
wife is
looks
going. My wife is
really good.
my wife is going to be out of town
Okay.
next sometime next week, I think, or maybe the week after. And so my goal is to uh, hopefully it stays in theaters long enough for it, which I think it will.
Oh yeah, yeah, it'll yeah. I think. I mean, this is like the biggest non-IP thing in a long time.
Yeah, so it's
It's
like it's Rotten Tomato score for critics is 98% and audience is 97%. Like you never see.
yeah, yeah. Like that's the thing. Is like, and what's weird is like, so I'm on Letterboxd, and I was like, I gotta find somebody who's like didn't 5 star this thing because everybody's like 5 star in it. And I found one account who gave it like 3.5,
Uh huh.
and it's this account. They're on Twitter. The name of the account is I love to talk film. Excuse me, and they're more like horror bent. Like they prefer
Mm.
and basically his review or their review was like, yeah, this isn't as big a horror movie as people are saying it is. Like
Oh,
it's
okay, so
not
that was his
like
complaint is it's
right
not in
like
the correct genre basis.
right like
It's just
it's like I think let me see if I can find. I'm gonna pull it up here while we're shout out to I love to talk film on
I need to start posting some reviews on my letterbox. Actually, I
so did
created an
you make
account.
it
I'm created
did
an
you follow
account.
me?
I did follow you. You followed me back.
Well, who were you? I follow a lot of people.
Fox and Fortune, which is my like
Okay, that's who. Okay, that's what I
yeah
thought you were. Okay.
it's my gambling name. It's Wheel of Time related.
Nice, nice. I am 3 films away from 600.
Whoa.
Well, 600 that are I've rated on. I've taken the time to rate. So I've been on a Wes Anderson kick last couple of days. I finally saw a Wes Anderson film. Actually, I've seen two now that kind of like didn't really hit the mark for me.
Mm-hmm.
Life Aquatic, which was still good, but it was
Oh, I want to go. I want to rewatch Minority Report. That's been on my like
ooh.
list of movies to rewatch.
So I rewatched it because the Rewatchables podcast did an episode about it, and it had been on my radar to watch because I've been watching the Mission Impossibles too to
Mm-hmm.
get ready for, and I forgot before I started the movie I looked up the runtime. I totally forgot it was 2.5 hours,
Uh huh.
but it does pace
It
itself
moves.
pretty
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it maybe lags a little bit. There's like a maybe 15 20 minutes that kind of lag, but Oh no, I'm sorry. I Love to Talk Film gave Sinners 2.5 stars.
Ooh.
So here, I'm gonna read. I'll read
You
a little
what? You
bit.
watched Hereditary?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Whew. That was that was rough.
Mister, I don't like horror movies. That's a pretty
It's a messed up one, yeah.
the
No, it was.
the
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll give a similar review that I gave for The Thing. So when I
uh-huh.
watched The Thing, I definitely got it. Like I understood why people see Hereditary and see The Thing as like these grandiose type on a different plane of good. You know, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, Hereditary. Tony Collette's perform. Have you seen it, right?
Yes, I saw that in theaters. I had to come in, I
Yeah.
had to
So Tony.
I so I went to see that movie like a lot of times if there's a movie that I want to see and like it's not something that my wife is going to watch or like I just or either or I can't sleep, I'll go and just cuz we have a movie theater like right by the house and so I'll just drive over late and then watch the movie and then come back or whatever. So I saw this one really late
Right.
at night and I came back and it was like midnight and
Mm.
I came home
Oh
and I was
yeah.
like turning all the lights
Yeah.
on. I was like not going to bed yet,
So
buddy.
I watched it. I watched it at like on Saturday morning, like just as the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
Like that's how
thank
I
good,
have to watch those kind of movies because like I
thank goodness
can't.
it's daytime.
Yeah, if I watch it too late in the day, yeah, then it's not gonna be good.
Dude, when
So I won't.
the scene with the car window and the pole is
Yeah,
that is something.
that's rough. Well, the rough part about that scene, dying spoiler alerts if you haven't seen
Yeah,
Hereditary,
if you
but
haven't seen it.
the rough part about that scene is like he just drives home.
Uh-huh.
Like
There's
he
like
doesn't even like and then when like it goes from night to day and they're focused on him and
uh-huh.
you hear his mom in the background like, all right, yeah, I'll see you guys later, I'm gonna go
And then
to
the
work or
screaming
whatever.
and then the
Yeah,
screaming.
and they
And
don't cut from him, they just stay on him the
oh,
whole
and then they
time,
when
and
they
it's
do
like,
cut from him, they do they
oh
cut
yeah,
to a
yeah,
that
then yeah,
when the first time I saw that I was like I felt actually like ill like when I first
yeah,
saw it.
yeah. No, it was I definitely thought my takeaway from the film from watching it was like Tony Collette should have got an Oscar for that or an Oscar nomination at least because
Yeah,
I mean it
nominations.
was.
It was she was
And
great in that.
Gabriel Byrne was good as the dad,
Uh-huh.
but and I wrote this when I reviewed it on Letterboxd. I said there was a part of the movie where I thought maybe Willem Dafoe would have been a little, maybe not better, but I kind of would have liked to have seen Willem Dafoe in that role. Um, just for no other reason than just I don't know, like something about he did something at one point. I was like, oh, Willem Dafoe would have been good.
Mm.
Like he kind of had that energy. Um, so going back to I Love to Talk Film, I won't read his whole review. I won't read their whole review, but I recommend you follow them on Letterboxd. They're on Twitter too. But so here's a little bit of it. It says, horror is my favorite genre. If you're looking for scares, this ain't it. There are a few cheap jump scares, but that's about it. A fair comparison would be a much longer From Dusk Till Dawn. Have you seen the movie From Dusk Till Dawn
I think
with
we talked about this on the show. Was
George
no
Clooney and Quentin Tarantino,
no
where they're like
what,
on the run? They're on the run and
no.
they go to this. Yeah.
I'm thinking of something else. What was that? What
Anyway,
was that movie that I compared to George on the subway?
oh gosh. That's I don't know.
Do you do you
That's
know what I'm
have to
talking?
go in the archives for that one.
It's like there's three parts of it, and like it's like was it something about at dawn at
Oh, before sunrise, before
before
sunset.
sunrise? That was it. Okay,
Is that it?
you said from dusk till dawn, and it made me think of that for
Yeah.
some reason.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different flavor of movie, for sure. Um, so yeah, but I mean, like all these reviews on here, like, okay, here's one that's 3 stars, 5 stars, 4.5.
Do you ever? Do you
Another
ever?
account I would
Oh, go ahead.
another account I would recommend following is Cinema Tweets. Uh, their avatar is a picture of Denzel from Training Day. They got good stuff. There's another guy. I think you would like this guy. I found he followed me on Letterbox first, and then I found him on Twitter. His name's Kyle Bellback. Um, he has a he developed a wins above replacement type metric for comparing films.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really I'm trying to find a way to get in contact with him so I can maybe get him on the show to talk about it because I just find it. But basically, what he does is he takes like IMDb, Letterbox, these different ratings, and he kind of aggregates them, and he comes up with a war
mm-hmm.
for a film to kind of figure out like he kind of goes through. He's got a website, and he goes through like for example, The Godfather. The war value he came up for The Godfather was 13.4.
Oh,
Like like so he's just or like for for Batman versus Superman it's negative 4.9, like stuff like that. So I just find it I just find that interesting to people. um, so let's see here, he's got a little
I like to. I always like to
I,
go one of my favorite like movie review experiences was after me and my uncle went and watched The Happening. We just went home and
okay.
then and just read all the reviews like trashing
Oh
that movie.
man, can I
There was some absolute gold in that that stockpile.
can I can I tell you my favorite The Happening, or can I tell you my The Happening story? I may have told you this story
Go
before, but
ahead.
so it came out in the summer of 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that because that was the summer I worked at the movie theater in Natchitoches, where I went to undergraduate school. And it came out the same day. I want to say it was June 13th. I know it was a Friday the 13th.
It was June
It came out
13th.
the same day. It came out the same day as the Incredible Hulk movie that starred
I think
Edward
we talked. I
Norton.
think we've talked about this because I
We've
have
had
a
this
similar.
discussion.
Yes.
Yeah. So working at the movie theater, I get to see the movie for free, and I get to bring a friend
Uh
because the
huh.
night before they have to test the reel and all that. And my buddy, who I was roommates with at the time, was a huge M. Night Shyamalan fan, and he was so excited that this was going to be Shyamalan's first R-rated movie. And it
Mm-hmm.
had Mark Wahlberg in it. It had I forget who all was in it. And he was like, "Hey man, do you mind if you if I go with you to see The Happening for free?" And I was like, "You know what? I can see the whole for free later. Sure, we'll go see The Happening." Brandon, when that movie when that movie was over, man, I looked at my friend. I'm like, seriously, like this is what we got to go. This is what we had to go see.
So,
And meanwhile, it reminded me of it reminded me of when George and Susan are gonna go to the movies and they're gonna go see Muted Heart
uh
instead
huh.
of Firestorm.
Uh
It's
huh.
like and like they're walking out and like Jerry's walking out of Firestorm with
Yeah. Did you remember? What about when he did
yeah, right,
this? Yeah.
and George is looking at him like,
So, so my story is similar, but me and my uncle would always go see movies like this to like Mystery Science Theater 3000 them, right?
okay, yeah,
And
yeah,
so we went kind of expecting to get a laugh because M. Night Shyamalan's movies had become something of a gold mine for this sort of
right,
behavior. So we go in and we know that we're expecting to laugh. So once the movie's 5 minutes in, we're cracking up. Everybody else in the theater is kind of like expecting to see a good movie. Well, there's
right, yeah,
the scene where, and spoiler alert in case you haven't seen it in the 17 almost 17 years it's been out. The scene where
right,
the Jeep all of a sudden takes off and flies into the tree and then somebody goes
yeah,
flying out the windshield. That's when,
yeah.
at that point, everybody in the audience busted out laughing, and everybody is now everybody's in on the joke. And
Did
so,
did somebody in the theater yell, "That's gotta hurt"?
no, but they should have. But at the end, so we're laughing, cracking up, and then like at the end, we these couple of teenagers were walking down past us, and we're sitting there just enjoying
Hmm.
the credits. And this one guy looks at his friend and goes, "I told you we should have gone to see the Hulk." And so
Well,
that's
you
my
have to
memory of
remember, you have to remember too, like with the Hulk, there was a stigma because the Eric Bana movie was so bad, or it was
right.
got such a bad review. And this was like Marvel's second film because Iron Man had come out
It was
in
Edward
May.
Norton too, right?
And it was, yeah, they changed the Hulk. It was going to be Edward Norton, and then they ended up changing it to Ruffalo later when they went to the Avengers. But like, so there was no guarantee that this movie was going to be good. Is I guess what I'm saying. Like, and so like, uh, but I remember going see the Hulk the next. I think I saw it opening night, or maybe during the day or whatever. And I remember thinking like, yeah, this is way better than the happening. I
Pretty
just
low
remember at the
bar.
end of the happening. I just remember at the end of the happening. It's like, wait, it was the
It
trees.
was the
What? Like
plants. so,
what?
so here's a couple of quick reviews from top critics on Rotten Tomatoes. On the happening, the whole solemn concoction is preposterous and not always in a fun way. Even at 99 minutes running time, the movie provides plenty of opportunities for watch consultation in the dark. And then the screenplay is a mess filled with unfunny moments of intended humor and funny moments of unintended humor. Always a good sign.
So on Letterboxd, it's a 2.1 score out of 5.
That's actually better than I would have
Uh,
expected on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah.
It's a 17%, I think.
There's oh wow, somebody I follow on Letterboxd gave it 4 stars.
Mm.
Somebody gave it 4.5.
You may want to
Um,
reconsider following those people.
Let me see. Well, I love to talk film gave this 2.5 as well. Well, and so I love to talk film gave it 2.5, but then the review says I don't dislike it at all. At least M Night Shyamalan is going for it.
He went for it.
He went for it. I don't know where he landed, but he went for it. Yeah, it was. It's just yeah. That's always my. Anytime I hear about the happening, that's what I think of. Because like you have to understand, like M Night Shyamalan was on a heater because he had Sixth Sense, he had Signs. I want to say Lady in the Water had come out by that point, and that was
Lady
like
in the Water was pretty rough, though. Let me.
I don't remember. The Village had come. The Village was good.
The
Like
village. I like the village. It had it fell apart a little for me. I kind of
let's see here. I'm looking up his filmography here. So he does Sixth Sense. He does Unbreakable, which was good. He does Signs, which is good. The Village, which is a step
saw.
down probably.
Yeah,
Then he does Lady in the Water, and then he does The Happening. So yeah, it's kind of a steady decline, I guess.
Lady in the Water
Um,
features Russell Dalrymple.
Bob Balaban.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him in something the other day. Or I was watching something and he popped up. Or actually, hang on. There was a sign. One of the movies I've watched recently, and I've watched quite a few, but one of the movies I watched recently, there was a Seinfeld connection, and I wanted to alert you to it, but now I can't remember. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh no! Oh no! Um, I watched two separate movies, Brandon, that had the same exact title, and I don't believe that they are
They're not
one is
remakes.
not a remakes of the other. The title is called Heist. One is a 2001 film starring Gene Hackman and Delroy Lindo and Danny DeVito. That one's actually pretty good. And then there's a 2015 movie called Heist starring Robert De Niro, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Dave Bautista, Kate Bosworth, Gina Carano, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Like It's the best 2.5 star movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even like that's like seriously. It looks like a like if you watch it, it's like this. It looks like something that went straight to DVD or straight to streaming, but it's not bad. Like it's not terrible. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays this. He works at this casino that's owned by Robert De Niro.
Uh huh.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan's daughter needs like a life saving operation. It's one of these like type of stories.
Like a
Jeffrey Dean
transplant.
Morgan can't. Yeah, he can't pay for it. He has till Friday, otherwise, you know, time's up, whatever. So he concocts this. Well, actually, no. Dave Batista, who also works at the casino, approaches Jeffrey Dean Morgan and says, "Hey, I've got this scheme to rob the casino, but I need your help. Do you want in?" And Jeffrey Dean Morgan's like reluctantly says, "Okay, fine." Well, of course, the robbery goes haywire, and they have to go on the run, and it goes from there.
Mm.
And it ends up it kind of turns into like Speed almost because they end up on a
Oh,
bus, and it's like
the bus is if the
yeah,
bus slows down, it'll explode.
well, not that it's not that bad, but like it's their getaway vehicle is basically a bus. I'll put it like that.
Gotcha.
Um, but that was not the one with the Seinfeld connection. I was trying to figure out which one had a one of these had a Seinfeld connection. That was like pretty obvious. Like the person showed up was like, "Oh, that's so and so from Seinfeld." Nah, probably won't figure it out. I rewatched Blazing Saddles and felt like a bad person.
Why don't
I
you
don't
sing
know.
us one of those work songs, Paul?
Yeah, uh, man. So here's the thing. So
That's one of those
I
movies
had
that's not getting made today.
no. That's not getting. Yeah, that's not getting made. Like the year they made it was the last year they could have made it. Honestly, like
Mm.
it's. I remember when I think it was last year was its 50th anniversary because it came out in '74, and it's just like, man, there's no way they could get away with any of that.
Steady as a rock. Yeah, but this is
Right.
my good. This is my
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I shoot with this hand. You know who's in that movie is
Gene
NFL
Wilder.
Hall of well, yeah, but NFL Hall of Famer Alex Karras plays Mongo.
Wow.
He's yeah, he played for the Lions. I've used him on Immaculate Group before because I think
Is
well, he's
there a
Hall of
category?
Famer.
Was it a movie?
Right,
That
was
should
in
be
Blazing Saddles. Yeah,
was in Blazing Saddles.
that's what I should have told the guys at Football Reference. It should have been like, can you
Acting
guys make it
who
like a
had an
movie
acting career?
category? See, OJ. Uh,
We got OJ and we got Blazing Saddles going on here. We got a really
I should have. I should have asked the question like, "Hey, have you ever thought about making OJ like ineligible for like all categories?"
I think there's a few more players bef- before there was a instead of using gosh what's his name Danny Warfel for Packers Saints. I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
a lot of times I would use Darren Sharper. And I would always
Ooh,
I would always
ooh.
feel bad about it, but I was like I can't come up with anybody
That's
else
a
right now.
that's a rough one, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Saints fans do not speak of him. He's like we don't talk about him.
persona non grata.
I want to say if anybody refers to him, I want to say they just refer to him by his jersey number. They'll just be like,
He who
yeah,
must not be named.
pretty much. I mean,
That's how the fantasy football podcast. That's how they referred to the Cleveland Browns quarterback.
oh yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen Get Shorty?
No, but that's based on the but so the guy who wrote that
Yeah, Leonard,
Elmore,
right?
yeah,
Elmore Leonard. Yeah.
also wrote the Raylan Gibbons books, which Justified is based off of.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I haven't watched another episode of Justified. I'm sorry. I need to
you're killing me, Paul. Killing me.
need to get back on.
You got
Every
two
time I'm like
days. You
every
got
time I'm
two
like
days,
2 days. Oh,
so we can talk
so we
about
can
it on the show. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Like,
we
like
also
how?
need to save our severance talk for then too.
Fair enough. Oh, it was Get Shorty. That's what I'm. Okay, so there's a couple Seinfeld references in Get Shorty. Miss Bette Midler is in Get
Hmm.
Shorty. And then, do you remember the little Jerry, the shop owner that like,
People really like the clowns.
yeah, he's in Get Shorty. That actor's in Get Shorty.
What is that
Somebody
guy's
else is in.
name?
His real name
Character
is
name? No,
Miguel Sandoval.
character name
Um,
though. Is he related to Pablo?
oh no, it's hang on, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm on the case. No, I don't want Jerry Seinfeld. I want Seinfeld. The show, season 8, episode 11, and the winner is Marcelino.
Marcelino. Did you ever see?
Little Jerry was Little
Did
Jerry was born to cockfight.
Did you ever see Thoroughbreds?
No, it sounds familiar.
It had Anya Joy Taylor,
Oh, Anya Taylor Joy.
or yeah, that.
Her too.
Sorry, I got my rods and cones a little bit
Gotcha.
mixed up.
Must have got confused.
Um, I don't know why that movie
Oh, this
popped into
also
mind.
it has the late great Anton Yelchin, who
Sure,
was he
I
played
think
Chekhov in the most recent Star Trek, like
the
the
Russian writer.
yes, yes.
Oh, that's
Yuri
Testicle.
Testikov.
Testicle. I was like,
Come on, we gotta work these kinks out. We gotta
yeah.
get gonna have to vamp for 4 hours or whatever it is.
I think.
Look,
Well,
if we get to the Cowboys pick and it's like 9:30, I'm gonna be like, maybe we'll
maybe we'll turn it in a
call it a
little
night.
early. Yeah. Once the
Yeah,
Well, we got to stay up to see if the Saints trade back up.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's kind of the reason I kind of hope they just take a quarterback at 9, because then we'll be like, all right, fine, they took a quarterback.
We can get out of here.
Um, yeah. So hopefully the car thing is we can put him on CarMax and get a deal for him or something. Lakers are up 18. About 3 minutes left before the half here. Luca just turned the ball over. It's not ideal.
That's not going to be good for business.
No.
Oh, the Rangers are up 3-2 on the
Who?
Athletics right now.
Rangers are leading the division right now, right?
They are. They lost 2 or 3 to the
Astros are. Ah, but the only team in the AL West with a plus run differential is the Houston Astros.
Yeah, the Rangers have been getting by more on pitching. I think most of the Rangers' run differential came in like 2 games against the Reds, where they like
Oh,
just
wow.
got like they basically like got pounded
Well,
into submission in 2 games, and then everything else has been like very close.
I was gonna say, didn't the Reds just like score 24 runs against somebody the other day?
They did and it was 3 touchdowns and a field goal to a safety, 24-2.
Best run differential in baseball. Can you guess who it is? It's a
It's not
tie,
the
actually.
it's not the Dodgers though. I think it isn't it the
Oh
Reds
no,
because
no. I'm sorry, it's not a tie. It's not the Reds, but it's a team in their division.
it's not the Pirates.
No.
Wait, don't tell
Although
me.
although the Pirates is not the worst by any means.
Look, I'm trying to think of who are. Is it the Cubs?
It is the Cubs. Plus 41. Astro legend Kyle Tucker is like killing it right now.
Yeah, how do you feel about that trade?
Not great, Bob.
Yeah, I'm
Although
not.
I will say Cam Smith has been playing pretty well. What I've seen, And I don't know if he'd have had the opportunity to play if Tucker
I'm not
was
quite.
there.
I'm not exactly thrilled with the fact that we traded uh, Nate Nathaniel Lowe to the Nats this offseason
Yeah,
and
so I
replace him
hope that
with Jake
I,
Berger.
I think Donnie's off the chat, but I hope he
Mm,
is because worst run differential in baseball is the Rockies with minus 52.
that's rough.
That is rough. And Donnie's like, oh, he's been with the Rockies since '93, I think. Talking Bichette, Galarraga, Burks, Castilla.
He's pitching.
Man,
Oh, that's why this game's close. Patrick Corbin's pitching. Well,
for the
it seemed
Rangers.
like yeah, it seems like this works pretty well.
Yeah, I'm gonna see because I did a free trial, so we'll see what we can do. I'm not so much worried. Like if we lose the recording, I'm not like totally worried about that. Uh, I mean, it's really just a chance for us
If
to go live and
if we can't do it on the free trial, then let's like split. Maybe we can split 1 month and just to
yeah,
do this,
yeah,
or
we'll
maybe
figure.
and do another couple of shows or
Yeah,
something like this.
yeah. Yeah, I was actually gonna say if depending on how this works, because basically I think this ends up being the same a month as what we pay for Zencaster.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that's the case, and we can also live stream, then we should just use this.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I'll check on the pricing and see what it is, and I'll
Okay.
let you know.
Hopefully we can fit it into the
It's
free trial.
it's I mean it's gonna be like Zencaster in that what was I gonna say? It's gonna be I, it's gonna be like Zencaster in that you could pay less if you pay annually instead
Mm,
of per month. I want to
okay.
say it's like you end up paying like $10 more a month if you do it per month. I don't remember, but I'll
Mm.
have to look. But yeah, this seems to work pretty well. Let's see what. Wow, Luca, second best scoring average in playoff history, 31 points a game,
Yeah,
behind
that guy's never gonna lead anybody to to anything.
defense wins championships, right?
Yeah. He's drank too many beers in the locker room.
I, again, that man has a job, but Taylor Jenkins does not, and Mike Malone does not. So
Figure that one out.
there was there was something like when they lost to the Grizzlies. I went on Facebook and I knew this was fake because it was on Facebook, but it said like
Fake.
Jason Kidd and Maver- Jason Kidd and Mavericks have parted ways. I was like, yeah, that
That doesn't sound right.
doesn't sound right. I mean, I don't know who's a worse general manager, Mickey Loomis or Nico. It's it's getting pretty close. Um,
A new
why do
contender has emerged.
a new yeah? Suddenly a new contender has emerged. That's an underrated ending to an episode. That's the was that the robbery or I think it's the robbery.
Yeah, so my wife had or not my wife. My sister got me two Seinfeld like pint glasses, and one of
Okay,
them's Jerry in the puffy shirt, and it's on the it says
I don't
I
want to
don't
be
want
a
to be a
pirate.
pirate, and then the other one is just George, and it says I am Costanza, Lord of the Idiots.
That's an underrated line, man.
That's a great line.
Underrated. Oh, Timberwolves have gone on an 8-0 run here, cut the lead to 14. That looked like a foul on Gobert, but
Oh, I need to look at that.
Luca, Luca was not happy. Is Austin Reeves is still on the Lakers, right?
Yes.
He's he's pretty good, right?
Oh
Speaking
man.
speaking of the devil, he just hit a jumper. So I
I
guess he
have
is
to
still.
I got a doctor's appointment in the morning, which means I have to fast because it's like the just my checkup. I have to
Oh right.
fast to do so I can't have coffee in the morning. This is a
That
crime
sucks.
against humanity.
You're gonna be like Elaine when Elaine was fasting. She
Exactly.
remember you remember that?
Very vaguely.
That was the suicide episode. That was the one where
Oh
Jerry's got the
yes, yes.
hots for
That's
the
the yeah, and he wants the what is
guys
it?
in
Trying to get
guys
this
in the coma.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Are you a
that's
man or a
Newman. That's like I
mouse?
think that's
I'm the kind of man who respects
I,
a good coma.
I think that's one of Newman's like first episodes, like where you
Yes.
actually see Newman.
Yeah, not the on the roof threatening to jump.
Right. I want to say it's right before or right after the boyfriend. It's right in that area of season three,
That meaty part of the curve.
that meaty part of the curve. All right, let's see here. 55-41 Lakers. Under a minute. Reeves to the basket. Going to kick it out. Got 7 on the shot clock here. LeBron. Wide open. Nope. Reeves gets the rebound, though. Back to LeBron. To. What's that guy's name? Hachimura?
Mm, grizzly killer.
Is that who it is? Hashimura?
Yeah.
Hoochie Mama?
Uchi mama.
That's Frank's favorite player. Yeah, they just lost sight of him. Timberwolves lost sight of him. He went baseline, and LeBron found him. They fouled him too late. So nice little and one here before half. Yep. All right, 17-point lead. So if the Lakers win this series, who's next for them? Let's
Houston's the
see.
2 seed. Oklahoma
Oh, it'd be
City's
the
the 1
Warriors or
seed.
Warriors
Yeah.
or the Rockets. Warriors look like they might have that series. Well, if they win tomorrow, they might have
I
that
I
series
when is the next game in that?
tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I would I kind of expect the Warriors to win that series.
Yeah, it's weird, huh? 7 seed to be like that favored almost.
Well, a lot of
Or
it is the
two.
fact that they added Jimmy Butler and they've been a lot better since they added Jimmy
True,
Butler.
true. Yeah, the Rockets kind of just caught fire. They're probably a year or two ahead of schedule, I would think, huh, the Rockets.
Yeah, they're not ready yet. All right.
See what Rio. All right. Oh, blocked at the buzzer. All right. So 58-43 Lakers at the half. We'll see if they. Well, I want to say they were up double digits in game one, and then the Timberwolves just came back and
Well, they just hit like everything, right? That was part of it.
yeah. Well, because I think because I had kind of a relapse on Sunday. My temperature spiked again, and I was
Mm.
feeling like. But and I but they played. I want to say Saturday, and I went to bed and like the Lakers were up, and then when I woke up middle of the night, wasn't feeling good. I checked the score and I was like, holy crap, that escalated quickly. All right, buddy.
All
Let's
right.
see. I'll let you know what's happening here. So we'll try it the same way. I'll probably if they kick off at 7, I'll probably get on like quarter to 7
Okay.
just to make
Get
sure
everything
everything's
running smoothly.
working, and then we'll just keep going until they either cut us off or we just get tired of watching the draft, and then we'll
Sounds good to me.
go
I'm
from
glad it
there.
worked.
Yeah, yeah, I'm hopeful. Because I'm actually on my. So I originally was going to try it on my work computer, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have to download anything, and I thought maybe I was going to have to download something before I found this.
Mm.
So I'm glad it worked. If it works on my computer, then if I have to use my work computer, I know it's going to work. So all right, man.
All right,
We'll
man.
see. Let's see. Let's
See,
stop
see you.
this here.